What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Pete's Carport, and welcome to another video on our 1991 BMW 318i. It is the inline 4 1.8 liter, and it is basically set up for drifting. So it's a gutted car. We've put in a roll cage that came with the car, and that just needs to be welded in. And now we've been kind of working on some of the mechanical side of things. So last video I installed a really cool front mount, basically ram air system. It's a cold air intake mounted to the front and then mounts up in here and mounts through the hose through the box that we took the filter out of. Now the thing is, I'm going to be removing that entire box. I've already ordered the adapter plate. Really want to clean this engine bay up, and I went to start it today after installing everything, and it was starting and stalling, and the check engine light had come on. So I thought, okay, great, the MAF probably got hit with some of the oils from the filter. Let me take that back apart, clean that down, and I also did a little research that pointed to, so the idle control valve, or the ICV as some people refer to it as, it's a device located right here, and this is something that does need to be cleaned out from time to time. It will stick and it will cause your car to stall out, not run properly. I'm not sure if that throws a check engine light, but my check engine light did come on. So I just got done cleaning out the MAF and letting that dry out completely, and I honestly just got done cleaning this out and decided this would make a great video because mine was completely jammed up, gunked up to the point where it wasn't even moving. So let me go ahead and pull this out. So this is where it's located right here. Yours might be slightly different because this guy's kind of done some modifications and gutted some things, and I don't know if it's been moved slightly on this vehicle specifically, but this is the general location of the valve. You're going to have a hose coming in, and then you're going to have another hose attached to your manifold here, and then underneath there is a plug. I'll show you guys how to unclip that plug. Normally you're going to have a hose clamp on that side, not on this side, because there's actually a tapered end on that to keep the hose on. And I'll go ahead and set up the camera and I'll show you guys how that comes off. Okay, so since I just had mine off, this should come off pretty easily, but you might need a screwdriver to pry off this side here and then stick the hose off to the side. I'm going to be sticking some hose clamps on here that I need to get. Now on this side here, there's this really neat wire adapter. Hopefully you guys can see that. There's a clip there. Now you want to grab a flathead screwdriver and pry up on that there. Like this. Oh, and make sure you don't lose that clip. Mine fell right down there, so I'm going to go ahead and snag that. But then you can just pull off your wire like so. Now you're going to take off your other hose end, which this one should come off pretty easily like that, and you'll be able to snag this. Now we're going to go set up what I like to call a basically a carb cleaning bath. So let's go ahead and set that up, and I'll show you guys how I do this. Now, like I said earlier, I was already cleaning this down, and what I did was I just took a water bottle and cut it in half, as you see here, and then I have another water bottle where I put some of the extra carb cleaner. So this is the carb cleaner I used, and basically what you want to do is set this like this, and then just go ahead and start spraying down in there. This bottle is getting a little low, but what I like to do is spray down in there till this little cup gets mostly full, and then I take my other half of my water bottle and I flip this around and I slowly pour it down into there. Now the other thing you can do, which I did because mine was so bad that it wasn't even moving inside, is I took a flathead screwdriver. You're not going to be able to see down in there, but I kind of shifted it side to side. There's one side, let me see if I can get it here. And it's going to be hard to see down in there. So there's this one side here, which is where the arrow faces out, that there's a plate that actually pivots, I think, on a spring. And so I kind of just took the screwdriver and slid it back and forth and freed it up because it was not moving. That's going to basically open and close, so that's what makes this thing function. So I went ahead and did that for a little bit, and then I soaked this down in the extra carb cleaner, and then just continued to go back and forth, pouring this back and forth. I used almost this entire can, so there's not much left in here, like that. Now that's the best way to do it, and then you can dispose of this properly You got to look online and see if there's any chemical pickups in your location. I usually store these off to the side and use them over and over again if I can, until they reach that point where I've just got to dispose of them, and then you can actually drop them off at some places or contact your local place to have these picked up. So that's one way to get this cleaned out. I like it because you're saving the fluid that you're spraying, as opposed to some people just spraying it on the ground, and that way you can kind of reuse it, recycle it, and use it for future things. Like if you need to free up some bolts and nuts, you can drop it in there. But that gets it nice and clean, and you just really put it back in the car after that. Once you start feeling this thing, that it gives a little bit of a rattle, that means it's nice and freed up and it's going to function properly. Let's go ahead and pop this back in the car. So putting it back in the car is just the reverse of how you did it. You want to start with your plug, attaching that to the bottom properly. And you can feel it clip in. Now you can feel that I pushed that spring in already. It just nicely clicked in. Now on this here, you want to make sure your arrow, which is there, is facing this direction towards that. Now I was able to know that because you can see the riveted end here, and after I took mine off, I was kind of concerned on which side to go, but as you can see, my hose was a lot wider on this side, and I knew when I took it apart that I had to pull it off with a screwdriver from that side, and the other side just pulled off. So that's kind of how that goes. Just put it back in, and then you'll be able to start your car. I'll go ahead and start mine for you guys so you can see how it starts up nicely. As you guys can see, it's idling pretty nice. Now I feel like I still need to make some adjustments on this, because this cable here seems a little loose. Probably one of the next things I'm going to be doing. Also going to be doing some cosmetic things moving forward. So if you guys are new to this channel and you found this looking for things to do on your car, and you've got one of these BMWs, please subscribe. Or if you're a Mercedes enthusiast, we have W126. I've got an S500 I'm about to pull in, a W140, and have lots of different Euro-type cars on this channel. Also have another drift style car right there, which is the 2JZ SC300. So once again, my name's Pete. This is Pete's Carport. Like, subscribe, and share, and always have fun, guys.